Hello, BookTube. And welcome back to Garbaugust. This is a month-long event created by Ollie at Criminolly where he makes us all read trash and like it. I love Garbaugust. I look forward to it every year. I use it as a kind of relief valve because a lot of the reading that I do anyway in the course of the year is garbage, but it's the bad kind. It's not the fun kind of garbage. It's the kind that thinks it's good. It's up to me to call it garbage. Nobody else does. The author certainly doesn't. So reading books that are just self-indulgently trashy is great. Absolutely great. I've been doing a lot more of that reading than I've been reporting on this month. I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but I'd like to fix that for the last 10 days of the month. So I read, I didn't do any reading last night. I had a guest over, but I read quite a bit this morning to jolly myself out of the doldrums. And I read a quick book that I thought going in that it might be trash, and I was entirely correct. And it's by an author that I've read before. This author may be a repeat offender in the trash Olympics. The author is Beatrix Arden. I suspect that's not the author's real name, but this is Mated to the Werewolf Villain. How's that for a cover? Suggested to me as on one of those daily ebook deals. This was on Kindle Unlimited, so it came up in one of those here are today's ebook deals. And this is, as you might suspect, a werewolf novel of a kind. And those are always good for trash. This deals though this set in a world in which lycanthropy, in which the werewolf condition is a virus. It's an illness that happens to people and makes them shapeshift. And there's a whole department, there's a whole organization, infection control, whose only goal, their only job, is to hunt down the infected and contain them, which means kill them. And Deepa is our main character, and she is part of infection control. She and her colleagues go from one reported infestation to another and wipe them out. And it's tough work. It's straining on the nerves, on the fibers of the body. So they need to play hard just like they work hard. So one night, she and a colleague of hers are headed to a bar, crossing a parking lot when they are attacked by ravenous werewolves, as happens, right? That's one of the worst things that happens when you cross a deserted parking lot. And Deepa is infected. She is bitten by a werewolf and therefore infected. And suddenly, or not so suddenly, realizes that maybe the infection control's measures against werewolves were pretty draconian, especially now that she's one of them and doesn't consider herself a monster. But she does have a mission. She wants to find the werewolf that infected her so that she can kill him, because she doesn't want to be what she's hunted her whole life. So she eventually finds him. He is a smoldering super hottie named Axel. And she's all set to kill him and he's all set to kill her, when they realize that they are fated mates, which is a concept in this book, but much like Mpreg books or twincest books or tentacle fiction, I got the impression that it has a whole built universe of its own. Fated mates. As a whole built universe of its own. I got that impression because Beatrix Arden, believe it or not, is good. She is good. I could easily see myself reading everything this author wrote. You will not regret reading this thing. You have to have a stomach for porn. If you don't have a stomach for that, then you're not going to want to read this thing, because if you are fated mates, it means that whether you like it or not, you are not only sexually drawn to each other, but bonded with each other. And it turns out that Deepa and Axel are fated mates. And neither one of them likes that at all, because they want to kill each other. They don't want to do anything else with each other. And instead, what they do repeatedly, zestily, on page after page for the rest of this short book is the anything else part. So they're forever going at each other, front end, back end, sideways, orifices that I thought were only good for eating peanuts. It's very inventive in a way that I might point out canine sex is not. Before every one of those torrid, flesh-ripping encounters, and after every one of those torrid, flesh-ripping encounters, they're all on and on about how they hate each other. It's like a Southie marriage. So it was, in one sense, very familiar, but in another, I wasn't quite sure what I should be thinking. I didn't like either of these characters. I don't think I was supposed to like Axel, but I didn't like Deepa either. I mean, she goes from being an unfocused homicidal maniac to being a focused homicidal maniac. It's not much of an improvement. So I don't know that I was supposed to like either one of them. Was I supposed to put myself in the position of one or the other? I guess what I'm saying is I need to know more about the fated mates subgenre of romance, and I don't know anything about it. So I don't know what the payoffs are. I don't know what the larger motivation is for people to read these things. And I was hoping, with mated to the werewolf villain, that I would get some resolution in this book. But the book ends on a cliffhanger. This is very much a part one. I didn't know that. I didn't see that coming at all. I did see it coming towards the end, because I was like, 10 pages from the end, and knowing that there was no way that even my beloved Beatrix Arden could wrap this up in the time that's remaining. But even so, the cliffhanger caught me by surprise. So maybe if Kindle Unlimited offers me volume 2 for nothing, maybe I will do that. Or maybe, considering that I enjoyed this, maybe I owe Beatrix Arden a sale for book number 2. I'm assuming book number 2 is out already. Maybe I owe her a sale. That tends to be the way I do things with indie authors. If they please me, if they're good at what they do, well, even if they're trashy, I will become a customer. So maybe I'll do that. I don't know that I'll report on it for Garbaugust. I don't think I'll read it for Garbaugust. I think I'll move on to other things. But that's my report for today. Mated to the werewolf villain on M Street. True trash, truly escapist trash. Just what I needed after the trash that I've read this weekend, and that no doubt is on my reading palette for tonight. I'm sure that in the next 24 hours, I'm going to read at least one book that is the wrong kind of trash, the kind of trash that nobody wants to read. I'm sure that's going to happen. But in the meantime, this was a breath of fresh air. So in a way, not for our two main characters. They hate each other. But that's my Garbaugust report so far. I will try to be more regular. I will try to do a Garbaugust report, a trash pickup, as it were, every day until Garbaugust is over, because this only happens once a year. But anyway, I'll wrap this up for now, and I'll be back. Thank you.